Danganronpa.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me load a game so that you guys can actually hear me. That's the way this works. Class trial interrupted. Hi, Smash Mode. I have been waiting for the conclusion all week as well. This is the first day that we've only worked 9 hours instead of 11 this week. So, first day I've got a tiny bit more energy to do this. I didn't think I would when I finished work. I was like, I'm exhausted. It's a Sunday. Man was not created to work 9 hours on a Sunday, but I've kind of perked up a bit now. I've had my dinner and a coffee, and I think I can do this. I think we can finish this. Class trial interrupted. Let's find out what's going down.
Hello. I hope your day is well.
It could be better, Monami, but never mind. Let's carry on.
I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. My heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
I save intermittently. It's okay. I save when the game prompts me to save, honestly. Alrighty, where were we? I need my notebook, just to refresh myself on what went down, because I didn't take any notes during the trial, honestly, but, right, so... Let's see, the towers are one and the same, but it is an elevator, right? And... the building itself is supposedly the murder weapon. Not quite sure exactly how that works at this stage, but that is what is being inferred. A lot of things I've taken notes for, actually, we haven't really even got to yet. The goodnight button on his neck, not really been touched on. The issues of different people's, states of rooms clearly must come into things. We've not really dealt with that, so that's coming up soon, hopefully. Everyone's weird, suspicious, I'm awake at 5:30 in the morning kind of activity. That probably needs touching on. Anybody who went through the old murder game? Was Nagito still the first? No, probably not. Need to figure that one out. Not quite sure what the dealio was with the pillar falling before Mekamaru, because that definitely happened, because he was laid on top of the rubble. So, something went down in there. We need to know about that. I still have Strawberries Y ? Down here, which I think is an important riddle to solve. Some weird mystery thing about a closed circle within a closed circle. Don't know what that means. Very cryptic. Clocks are important. Clocks are definitely important. And, yeah, I think last time we spent like 3 hours figuring out mostly the building's a bit weird. Which, it's a funhouse.
I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
She took that very well. Whole world view upturned, but oh well, that's fine.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily? I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekumaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it,
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
That's not what you've been saying for 3.5 class trials.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
Oh, is he actually on our side now?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
Even if he is a disgustingly arrogant and annoying character now, at least he's not just like crazy throwing you off the case annoying character.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
You ate some small amount of bread a few hours ago, it's fine.
Akane! You were drooling waterfalls?
Nagato, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building's structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Nekomaru's cause of death, huh? He was horribly damaged, as if he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. But if he was beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building's structure. Oh! Something suddenly just clicked for me. Oh, the door there's a rope wrapped around him that's got a loop on the end of it, and there was a door handle that was forcibly removed. A door handle that moved independent of the floor, or rather, the floor moved independent of it. Either way, they were not, you know, they moved separate to each other. So, when the elevator moved with him in it... Would the elevator have moved with him in it? No, the elevator couldn't have moved with him in it. Unless they'd put him to sleep with the good night button. Oh. Yeah, they could have put him... Yeah, they put him to sleep with the good night button. Tied him up with a rope. Because, you know, it's like, even asleep, he's still a giant titanium brick. It's still going to be very difficult to kill that with your bare hands, regardless of asleep or not. So they just had to use the force of a building moving to tear him apart, right? I think that's involved somewhere. Basically, they tied the loop around the door handle and the rest of it to his body and just generally used massive brute force to tear him into bits. Possibly. I don't know, the way he's tied up and the way legs are detached means... I'm not quite sure that's true, but... It seems like that's a thing. There was like one line of dialogue that touched on the loop at the end of the rope that was like, hey, there's a loop at the end of the rope, I wonder what that's for, and they've never mentioned it since, but that's how you know it's important. So yeah, that loop is definitely vital to this, and I think that's what's torn the door handle off its hinges, just ripped the screws out and everything. I think that loop was around the door handle at some stage. Also, actually, yeah, no, to be fair, that other leg is torn off as well, kind of, to some degree, I think. Just judging by its position. I don't know. Did they use the pillow to, like, pin his body down? No, it couldn't have been that. I don't know. I don't know yet. If it was being with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So it was Nekomaru's cause of death that also utilized the building structure. Crushed by the elevator, beaten with a blunt object, dead battery, falling. I think he must have been crushed in some way, shape, or form. Is crushed right? Crushed? He could have been crushed. Definitely wasn't his dead battery. He never seemed to have any issues with that. Falling could be it, if he was... Oh, yeah, if he was tied up with the rope attached to the door handle... and it somehow severed when the elevator's floor was, like, way below him, he could have fallen, like, 3 stories.
I see!
Yeah, it is!
That's it. I think he might have died from falling.
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That, I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method.
I know the
Where in
method.
that building
I know
would
it.
you
I got
even
it.
be able to push someone off in the first place?
They didn't push him off, they suspended him.
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
But it would if a character who was in the elevator on the 4th floor had all function ceased because he'd had a button pressed. So yeah, that makes sense.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
If Nekomaru died from falling, where did the killer shove Nekomaru from? If we're going to reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next. With a... argument. Okay, it's an argument. Fine. Goodnight button is probably very important. Yeah, I'm going to go with the goodnight button.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor. Huh.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Mekamaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside.
Got it.
No, that's wrong!
Light wire, you found it, but it's cool looking. Cool, I'm glad you like it. It is a very
That
cool
sensor
style.
should only work if something is moving.
It is a very, very distinctive and awesome looking game. So, I hope you stick around, because we got loads of cool things to find. Although, your story's pretty wild. You might... I don't know how easy the game is to get into 4/6 of the way through it. But, hey. Either way, we're going to forge onwards. There's lots of VODs in case you want to find out what happened up till now.
If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from, yes?
That's what I was about to explain, before Kazuichi interrupted me. Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
Way to create the drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru is still in it. Big old rope! Chiaki seems to have an idea, but what way could that be? I'm actually really happy about this because I'm quite sure I've actually got it right, and I never get it right in this. I'm always way off. Yeah, the wire.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
Yep, doorknob. Yep.
I agree with that!
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it?
Oh my god, it's all coming together! I finally got a murder trial right, or at least a significant chunk of a murder trial. This is so good.
That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob...
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair! That's right. He was suspended in midair.
Huh?
The killer tied up Mekamaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot, and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Mekamaru in midair.
That's exactly what I said happened! Look at that. He even drools in his sleep as a robot. That's kind of like... I'm not sure who engineered that particular feature, but... Monokuma, I suppose, but okay. I guess he had a lot of unusual features. Maybe it's just sort of a byproduct of his being able to shoot soda from his eyes.
That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
You better not finish that sentence!
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy.
Oh god. Bullet time battle. Oh no, it's
So
not.
what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
Why?
If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall?
That I'm not actually immediately clear on. I assume just like the sheer weight of a massive robot would have wrenched the door handle off its joints and he eventually fell. He dangled for a while and eventually the door handle gave way and he just crashed. Although, would you want to rely on that? I don't know. Trying to think what I know. I'd be useful when they show me some bullets.
In midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
Or swords. Rebuttal showdown. What have we got to work with? Wire, tripped over pillar, new looking hammer, pillar fragments, timer, radio clock. I mean, the broken doorknob.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
His arguments are weaker than Sonya's. Quite significantly weaker.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own?
No, not it. Dang it. Nah, I'm not the type of coward to get thrown by a messed up remark like that.
Crap!
Okay, fine.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right? If he was sleeping, there's no way he could do that to himself. But in that case, you still won't be able to explain. Moving the elevator with Nekomaru inside is just impossible. End of story.
Okay, the radio thing. Right, hang on. Thanks to Kazuichi, I think I figured out how the killer dropped Nekomaru. Have you? I figured out what you count his argument with. I'm not quite sure exactly what the specific mechanics are there. I think if Nekomaru woke up, I don't see how that would specifically drop him. Like, him waking up while dangling from the ceiling, as it were. From the wall, I guess. Wouldn't it make the doorknob fall off in and of itself, would it? How does that work? Alright. He was like, he's still awake.
Nekomaru fell on his own?
Clock's alarm timer. Yep.
Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode.
Boom.
Allow me to cut through those words.
Okay, I want to know where this goes.
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
I mean, he would be awake but dangling upside down. I'm not sure what else would happen there.
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why... If something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
Oh, well, so just him wiggling inched him off the door handle and... Or wrenched, or maybe just broke the door handle?
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
That's not what that picture illustrates, that's more near the middle of the doorknob, but okay.
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because Nekomaru was crazy heavy. In that case, I shall use my full power! With a fierce roar, Nekomaru put all his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands. But, clatter, 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 clatter. Not yet. Here it comes, the incredible strength of 1,000,000 horsepower. Wait, isn't it creaking? If you break off the doorknob, we'll be stuck in here. That's really what it was. And that's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find.
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so!
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey! Why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy. He gets off on this!
Yeah, kind of getting that impression too.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
Doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. Oh, he hit the pillar on the way down. The moment Nekomaru fell to the floor, the only thing I can think that happened to him was he collided with the pillar.
I see! When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
And also why the impact was at the top of the pillar and nowhere near the actual, what would appear to be the point of collision.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Gonna go ahead and say no on that one.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
I guess at this point we need to figure out who knew about the ultimate dead game, final dead game, whatever, the escape room, and got the way through the escape room, and managed to not shoot themselves in the face, and wasn't Nagato.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m., and if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. 'Cause even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I.
Oh damn, that's a really friggin' good point, isn't it? Everyone headed there at 7 a.m. because that's when Monokuma wanted everyone to get there. Like, I haven't put those two particular bits together. So yeah, everybody turned up actually before the alarm was due to go off.
There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Taichi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know!
Another mystery I don't understand? Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth! I hope we're not going to find the truth after like half an hour of trialing. These trials, are they getting shorter? There should definitely be a clue to breaking through this contradiction. Make your arguments. Good night button for your Hiko, wall clock, contact elevator. I don't know what the one above. Clock's just an alarm timer. Let's see what people have to say on this one.
We headed for Grape Tower. Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion!
The killer probably did some tampering. They
the
probably
radio
messed
clock.
with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. That's gotta be it!
I think that was the one I needed to counter. Crap. Yeah. Because they messed with the timer! But it's a radio clock. They literally cannot mess with it. Nekomaru himself could not mess with it. So yeah, the time of death was 5:30 because that's when his clock stopped. Because that's when his body ceased to provide power to the clock. So the alarm timer is just a ruse, a cunning ruse.
We headed for Grape Tower. Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion!
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
Boom.
No, that's wrong!
Thomasina, hi. Welcome.
No,
Welcome.
the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
You need to go and watch the first half hour of this VOD when this is over, because you have missed, by turning up at this time, you've missed the bit that I got right. Out of all the Danganronpas, this is the bit I got right. So, hi, welcome. You missed the bit I got right, and now I'm disappointed that people miss me being right. Did I mention I was right? For once.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
However, we know that that would hold true if somebody was not able to travel between the towers to adjust both the clocks. However, we also know that anybody who completed the Final Dead game did gain access to whatever hatch was in the ceiling stroke floor to be able to get between the towers. They could theoretically have, actually changed both of those.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
This time-related contradiction, I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps we've overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Oh god, it's going to be a logic dive. Logic dive. Knew it! Not as bad as Hangman's Gambit, but I'm still not a big fan of these. Alrighty, let's do it. Let's go supersonic. Get some Chaos Emeralds. Woo! Coming for you, Robotnik. Boosty! Question me! Okay. What did Hajime and the killers misunderstand? Who the killer is, where the murder happened, the time... Oh my god, we haven't had three... Have I had three options before? I'm not sure I have had three options before. I'm guessing we misunderstood the time in the building. Okay, good. I'm glad that was made clear beforehand. Everyone's like, what could be up with the time? This could be a clue to that one. The next ones are not going to be quite so easy. That was a freebie. Oh god, do I have to jump across? Oh my god, that's the first time they've had me do that. Jesus. Jump! Okay, I don't like doing that. Okay, question 2. Building, which clock was tampered with? Buildings clocks, Nekomaru's radio clocks. It has to be the buildings clocks. Nekomaru's radio clock could not have been tampered with. It absolutely has to be the buildings clocks. Okay, good. Oh no! Tricky jumps! Ish. Whoa! And false question wall things. These are just, they just keep adding random stuff to this every time. I'm glad I took the perks that made these bits a bit more maneuverable. Dang. Which house had the wrong time? The clocks were both the same, so if they had the wrong time at all, both of them must have had the wrong time because they both had the same time, right? Oh, right, yeah, we said, oh, they weren't tampered with because they were both the same, but anybody who went through both of them, yeah, they just totally tampered with both of them. That seems obvious now that this is presented to me like this, huh? Woo! Chaos Emeralds! At least we got it all right first time this time.
It's all coming together!
It is! Slowly.
You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
She's right, that's the main problem, and I'm not convinced there's any way to know that. Unless someone looked at the clock. Dang. Well, we've got some frame of references. I mean, what we got? Nekomaru went downstairs at about 5. We know he died at 5:30. We know at that time Gundam and Fuyuhiko were awake around that time. And might have been able to look at the clock at that point, unless the clocks had already been adjusted. Ah, damn, I don't know. If someone messed with the clocks before they killed him... We don't know that. We just don't know that. I need to clarify by how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. That's definitely the next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. Are you? Fuyuhiko's... Oh no, Nagato's sudden appearance might be useful, but also might Fuyuhiko's account. Not sure.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Or his scream.
He's not the type to let out a scream.
If only Nekomaru's alarm was loud enough, we would have heard it too.
There's no point in saying that. If does not exist in this world.
Alright, so who... was Akane's account was available, wasn't it? And she did hear a crash, right? Where is Akane's account? Had a rumbling noise at around 5:30 a.m., which is the time when... Why have we not brought up the fact that he has a clock inside of him that stopped at 5:30 yet? Why are we still like, oh, we're not quite sure when he actually died? His own clock kept track of these things. It stopped at 5:30. He obviously died at 5:30. That clock is the one clock that cannot be tampered with. How is this a mystery? They're like, we don't know this yet. I mean, it still doesn't solve the problem of how much they're off by, but, like, ah, man. Fine. I think I can cancel this or by backing
If the time in the building was all messed up,
kind of back up Sonya with
then we can
Akane's
only
account,
rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
Well, that's wrong, but I don't
Problem
think I
is, what time
cancel
would 7:30 be? In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell.
Consent,
I
yes.
agree with that.
Okay, cool.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling? I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
I feel like that's the first time I've heard any other character other than Kazuichi refer to Sonia by her name, and thereby actually call her Sonia. And I still think Sonia's wrong. It's Sonia. Who calls Sonia Sonia? It's not Sonia.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
But how do you know it was 5:30? Unless you looked at the clock and saw it was 5:30, and his clock stopped at 5:30 as well, thereby meaning the clocks hadn't been adjusted yet. Or am I missing something?
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
Nope, something's happening. The rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30 AM. It's like the answer to how much our time was off is literally right in front of me. I guess it has to be 2 hours because they keep saying, oh, the time of death was definitely 7:30. And how they can quite conclusively say that, I'm not sure. Why would his clock have stopped at 5:30? Or why would anyone have adjusted it? And no one could adjust it and make it say 5:30 to put it off as well. We know they didn't. This doesn't make sense. I know the answer's 2 hours, but this still doesn't make sense. This feels like some of the logic's just wrong. Or can someone explain to me how I'm misinterpreting this?
I see!
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30...
Then why did his clock stop at 5:30?
That means our time was off by 2 hours.
If his alarm went off at 7:30, his clock would have said 7:30.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Lure out only Nekomaru?
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with time, the killer also used a specific thing? You're trying to lure only Nekomaru, and that specific thing is... Monokuma Taichi?
I see!
Yeah, okay.
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Taichi activity in the morning.
Hi, you came for the boat in the description? Sorry, there are no boats. The boat in the description references the fact that normally on Sunday, I kind of, where possible, try to make an effort to make a sailing-themed game. Sailing Sunday. Sailing Sunday is a thing. Except when it's not a thing, in which case I usually put weird references to it in the description. So today is Murdering Sunday instead of Sailing Sunday. So, hi. Welcome to Murdering Sunday instead of Sailing Sunday. There will be no boats. I apologize for this.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 AM for that activity, right?
For what it's worth, if there wasn't a massive and brutal and heavily enforced NDA on it, I would totally play Sea of Thieves, because it's currently one of the closed alpha tests this weekend, and I'm probably not allowed to tell you anything about that, but I did play it yesterday, and it's everything I ever wanted in a game. That's all I'll say. That's probably about all I can say without there being horrific legal ramifications.
But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early! He didn't even ask you yet!
Jeez, how outrageous. I also didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. Oh! That was a clue. That was totally a clue. I thought that was a bit incongruous. God damn it. Anytime... I should have written that down. Anytime anything in this game makes you go, eh? What was that about? That's important! Oh, man. Yeah, that was totally important. It turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez! That's... well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot, or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad!
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it! It's incorrect!
We do not know who the killer is already. If you're aware of who the killer is, please do not tell me, and save that for... save discussions of murder until after murder has been revealed. I don't know, I don't want to know, I enjoy the process of figuring it out. If you tell me, everything is ruined forever, and banhammers get swung. So, also, hi. Welcome to things. Also, further note on the sailing thing. If you want to subscribe to the channel and hang around, there may be more boats on further Sundays. I will try to find boats where relevant, and have sailing Sundays. And I guarantee you I will play Sea of Thieves the moment I'm allowed to stream it. Don't worry about that.
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru.
Oh my god, I love that. I love Monokuma and Monomi just being the peanut gallery. That's perfect. Oh, I've heard people refer to stream chat as being the peanut gallery before. I love it as well. Just the peanut gallery as a concept always tickles me. It's brilliant.
The number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Yeah, Gundam was hanging around. So glad I've not had to swing the hammer. Yeah, I'm, and also, Heartbeat, you... Oh! Heartbeat, you were... What? That same... Oh, you were also the other person. Wow. Yeah, your name changed. That's weird. Yeah, I thought it was somebody new. Hi, welcome back. I was like, oh, a new face I've never seen before. Let me introduce you to not having to spoil things. But no, okay, hi, welcome back. That's a weird quirk of YouTube, that your name changed. Yeah, I'm glad I've not had to ban anyone. It's been good. I mean, there was that one person who spoiled the trial, but Heartbeat did, like, actually salvage that one, and I appreciate that. Was it Heartbeat? Did you salvage that one? Someone salvaged it. I think it was Heartbeat. That was good. Yep. Everyone's been pretty respectful about this, and I appreciate that. I mean, I think that, weirdly, I kind of think people generally kind of seem to be that with Danganronpa, because, again, I've referenced this a billion times, but Milby's playthrough, there's occasionally people... He's not as ban-happy either, but he's always like, yeah, don't spoil this. Like, literally, the whole the fun of the game and the fun of watching this game is people figuring it out for the first time. Somebody who already knows the game inside out, there's nothing really interesting there, except maybe perhaps voice acting. But anything beyond that, yeah, you want to see people figure it out, so don't spoil things. If you are, anybody who does is clearly just doing it just to troll, just to ruin things, just to spoil other people's fun, because that's how they get their kicks, and that's when bands need to be swung. But hey. Okay, Nekomaru's going towards the tower. Did something else happen? Yeah, Gundam happened, right?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Oh, the alarm. Oh yeah, that thing.
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Well, unless the guest room was soundproof. Wait, so who was on their floor? Kazuichi had a crummy room, Fuyuhiko had a crummy room, they heard the alarm, no problem. Nekomaru, we had just left the scene. Nagato and Gundam were both on the same floor, but they were in soundproof rooms. But didn't Fuyuhiko's account say that Gundam was hanging around at like 5:30? Nagato probably isn't it. Really confused. Yeah, I can imagine if you came into the second half of the deduction of what happened during a murder mystery and we're trying to figure out what happened, that would be super confusing. Basically, long story short, we found a robot dude inside a tower of a building with a fallen tower, blood pooled around him, wire wrapped around him, door handle off the hinges, the elevator between two adjacent buildings broken, and nobody knows how or why it happened, and we need to figure out, it's definitely a murder, there's definitely a murder has occurred, but we haven't been able to figure out exactly who done it. That's what's happening, and it's enigmas wrapped in riddles, wrapped in mysteries, and we're trying to detangle all of that. So, yeah. Hopefully that gets you at least somewhat up to speed. We have figured out that the building just has a really wacky, crazy layout. The tower is actually an elevator, which was sort of elaborated on earlier. You might have caught that bit, perhaps a bit. Yeah, he was like tied to a door while the floor of the elevator moved and dropped. He hit a pillar on the way down, but we don't yet know who done it. So we're going through the events that we know beforehand to try and figure out who else could have done it and would have done it. The premise of the game being, if you're not already up to speed with that, is if you can kill somebody and get away with it, if nobody can figure out it was you, you get to go free and everybody else dies. If you kill somebody and everybody else figures out it was you, you get executed. That's the whole Danganronpa shtick, really. So we're trying to figure out who it is so that they get killed and we don't. If we don't figure out who it is, we get killed and they don't. So it's not weird that he didn't come out of his guest room because he has a soundproof guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
But they do not have an alibi. This is also true.
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Gundam, really. I mean... Always, I don't know, right from the start it was one of those characters that was like, I mean, it could be him. I don't know, it seems like it's his time to get involved in something. I've got nothing to go on, it just feels like it's his time. Oh damn, we're actually pointing a finger at somebody at this stage? Jeez, okay. Hi. I was aware that the lounge clock was ringing after all I rushed over there, didn't I? Oh, did he? Did he run over? And the rumbling noise occurred soon after I was with the others when Nekomaru fell. Okay. What would you call this if not an alibi? Why did no one mention that in this recent moment?
Crap!
You're right, he's not the one who doesn't have an alibi. That then must be Nagato, right? Unless... We literally talked about Fuyuhiko and Kazuichi rushing out. Not Nekomaru. Gundam did turn up as well, eventually. It's gotta be Nagato, right?
You're the only one!
Yeah, he is him. Okay, okay.
The one who wasn't there. It's you, right,
I don't know.
Nagito?
I don't know why we're doing the whole finger-pointing, bullet-shooty kind of thing there, because that's normally the, like, this is definitely him. I know some occasions in the first game you did get to do that twice in one trial, but still... Seems weird that we'd be doing that at this stage when... I don't know, I don't think it was Nagato. Unless he's been really, really good about covering his tracks.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
I cannot remember for the life of me the specific context as to why Gundam was there, because Nagato and Gundam both had soundproof rooms. He couldn't.
You're definitely fucking lying.
Of course he couldn't, he had a soundproof room.
However, that is also true for me.
As did she, and Chiaki.
It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it. To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Huh?
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
The only people who didn't hear the rumbling sound were Nagato, Sonya, and Chiaki. The secret is what these three have in common. This will also be the secret that points to the killer. Okay, answer is deluxe room. No? Oh, or D-E-L-U-X-E rooms? Yeah. Yeah. D. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I think that's fine. I just destroyed a U, didn't I? There's a U. X. Hang on to an R. Take one of those. R-O. Get that out of there. Hang on. Get rid of something. Oh, crap. Things are breaking. Oh, things are breaking. S. Oh, even. Oh, I hate these puzzles. They just throw so much stuff on the screen at once in the sort of second half of it that it's impossible to do without things breaking.
The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right?
Even when you know what the answer is going to be ahead of time, it's just like, here, there's things everywhere. You need to be able to shoot 50 things at once and keep track of everything. Ah, stupid Hangman's Gambit.
If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
S rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. The crummy room has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
Yes, I am, asshole.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? the true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Oh, hold on a sec! Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagato means. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa. How are we here? Oh god, this happened before. It was like, ah, yeah, no, you've got enough information to go on. Here, pick people. Oh, lordy lord. I don't friggin' know. Can I scroll back through the last few lines of dialogue and find out what this means? All the guys have alibis. To some extent. With the possible exception of Nagato, and I don't think it's him. Which I guess narrows it down to Chiaki and Sonia. It wouldn't be Akane. It couldn't really be Akane. And Sonia and Chiaki were both in deluxe rooms. So they kind of don't have an alibi. Sonia?
Crap!
Is this person the right one? Wait. Give me a go back. Give me a go back. Because I didn't really... Now, and you guys must understand now the true identity of Nekomaru's killer. Hold on a sec, why does that lead to who the killer is? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue and a decisive factor in identifying the killer. I am not putting 2 and 2 together here. Oh! Oh, no, I think I got it. I've been kind of leaning that direction already, and I think I touched on it, but Gundam came out of his room, and Gundam was in a soundproof room. Gundam shouldn't, by all rights, have heard the alarm. The only reason he would and could have come out of his room is because he knew the alarm was going to go off. Not because he actually heard it, but because he knew it was going to go off and decided it was like, I'll make an alibi for myself. By coming out of my room at the appropriate time. It's friggin' Gundam. No, Hamster Bro! Man, I lost Robo Bro and Hamster Bro in the same game.
You're the only one!
It is him!
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you.
I also... I have this written down in my notepad. It's like, what was Gundam doing awake at 5:30 in the morning? That's literally on my notepad. Ta-da! Yeah.
When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Huh. Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam? Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room. Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Hey, what are you doing? This raucous. It's louder than the supreme ruler of Netherworld bellowing for a sacrifice. I'm not making all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this. Including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction, how many ears do we possess?
Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence.
Bullet time battle.
At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it?
Hmm?
At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Ah, you said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
Because of Nagato's sudden appearance.
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. Let's learn the fundamentals of debating before we get into the 4th section of the game. No such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Okay, Nagato's sudden appearance is not a thing. I fully expected to be able to rebut him with that, because like, well, Nagato got between houses, why couldn't you?
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House...
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
Contradiction when something is obviously wrong. There's no contradiction I can't shoot through. Stop saying that. Like, give me a hint here. Because I'm not sure any of... I'm not clear exactly what I had to work with that contradicts something that was said there.
That elevator was...
Let me have a read through some of the, reading through some of these sometimes helps. So what specifically does it say about the contact elevator? Contact elevator was used to... contact elevator used to move between both houses was broken and no longer worked. It was apparently broken at the Grape House side, so the last person to use it would have arrived at Grape House. Not helpful. What else have I got? Wall clock. What does the wall clock say? 5:30 AM, the alarm of the wall clock in the lounge on Strawberry House, the 2nd floor, started going off. Fuyuhiko was there by coincidence, managed to stop. Kazuichi and Gundam rushed to the lounge after being alerted by the sound. Nagato was the only one who didn't hear it. Okay. Fuyuhiko's account. Fuyuhiko saw Nekomaru. Okay. Not helpful. The good night button. Yes, sleep mode. Fair enough.
As long as that elevator was broken.
Radio clock? I don't see how that's useful. Blocking Nekomaru's fixed, can't be tampered with, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, did the clock actually... Oh, oh, shoot. You know what? When I was getting all bent out of shape about the time before... No, the clock genuinely stopped at 7:30. Fine. Okay, I was, like, majorly wrong. Oh, one of the ones where you take the points? Akane just said how Nagato appeared. Did she? Oh, the secret... Oh, she mentioned the secret password, so I used this... Yeah, I didn't even contemplate
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House...
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me?
What do I break
Why don't
with
we
that?
stop this already?
Okay.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
No, it was not. Yeah, okay.
No,
Yeah,
that's
thank you for that one. You kind of told me that, but I think I appreciate that
No,
one.
there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist!
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Oh. I mean... It's weird that this has come up 3 times, and, like... This is just not like... I guess this isn't like... I'm framing you for murder, this is just select someone. Nagato. Normally we just, like, give you, like, a list of 5 people and you pick from someone.
Nagito?
Seems weird that they would do it that way.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you'd, like... I think if you'd reminded me that copying someone's statement was a thing you could do, because it comes up so infrequently that I always forget that's a thing you can do, probably would have put me on the right track. But hey ho, it doesn't matter. It wasn't a major bit. Nagato, why are you here? Because I showed up.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the 3rd floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show off.
I mean, are we completely sure that this guy's the ultimate lucky student and not just the ultimate asshole?
But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the 1st floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down... Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the 3rd floor of Grape House.
Meaning, the 3rd floor and the 4th floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the 2 houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
That's a special ability that I've unlocked.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
Also, apparently describing someone as the ultimate asshole does get you chat filtered. Just bear that one in mind. What if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room? The killer must have done the final dead room, though. I mean, can you prove that you didn't do the... I mean, the proof that the killer must have done the final dead room is the fact that they had access to the wire. But that doesn't prove specifically that Gundam did it. Everybody was aware of the final dead room, because when we were wandering around, we were like, oh, hey, check this out, there's a final dead room.
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say? Don't make me angry! You wouldn't like me when I'm angry!
Rebel Showdown, I hate these ones. Wire, I did just mention the wire, so I think we're onto a good thing with the wire.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes. Provided you use a spacious
wormhole. Oh my god,
However,
yeah.
how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Did I do it? Okay, we did it.
I
That was a
already proved
really
the secret
nasty
passage
one.
exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
He probably means try providing the evidence that the killer went to the Octagon. Okay, I'm glad that was explained. I'm glad that literally the clue to this is that Gundam talks in a load of absolute shite. Because I saw that and I was like, can you contradict that? Is that a contradict? Is that wrong? Is what he's saying wrong? The maelstrom of confusion. Can one contradict the maelstrom of confusion? It's like, oh, I see. He's talking bollocks. I see. Yes, apparently you can contradict it when he's talking bollocks. The key which dwells in the light that will break through the darkness.
Know the limits of your own reasoning.
The wire.
You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blood.
Got it. Okay, good.
Those words. The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body, the hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems this is the end. Normally we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act, so I'm going to end this right now.
Oh my god.
Hey, what do you... First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building,
Oh my
Gundam
god,
tried
he's
to
actually
lure
skipping
only
my
Nekomaru.
bits.
The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks
also-
to that, Nekomaru
also
wasn't
gone
able
to
to go
auto
to Great
dialogue. I
Tower,
can't even click through
which
this.
was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Well, hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And, without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower.
I need comic
There's
book
no
for this.
way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru. So by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
I love that everyone's just interrupting him all the time. This is brilliant. He's stolen my bit, and he's doing it without a comic book, which is a disgrace. You need a comic book to deliver this bit, but like nobody's letting him finish. It's fantastic.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Used a hamster.
Just as I thought. Truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument. It was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Gundam can't speak Finnish? You lost me on that one. I'm not sure what you're... Oh, was he talking about I need to finish this? Was it a play on finishing things?
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied.
I may have, like, read chat, like, several minutes after the dialogue, which threw me off there, I think.
Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I'll provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be persuaded. Oh no! It's a final showdown thing. Panic talk action. Yeah. Okay.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka
really bad at this
Empire!
today.
Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire!
Oh shoot!
I won't let you!
Let's do this. This works. This works really well.
Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
This is the end!
I said he did it with... Yes. I said he did it with the hamsters. Brilliant.
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck.
That was... I feel like I need the carry more ammunition perks for that one, because that one was kind of I don't know, that was messy. That felt messy. I was like, the reload thing was... Ugh.
As long as you have the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Emissary of evil, in accordance with our ancient contracts, the time has come to lend me your aid. Pierce through, Supernova Silver Fox Sandy. Ah, his hamsters have been trained to press buttons. Truly, this is the skyline lamentation art of the demon mouse. Haha, soon the door of destiny shall open.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music
Yeah, I got the
venue,
scrap paper as well.
one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right?
Ooh, referencing previous cases, that does not come up very often.
Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands.
Closing out. Oh, we actually do get to do one. Woo! Yes. Screw you, Nagato. You totally get to do one of these. Okay, so something about tampering with things. So the killer did the final dead room, set the alarms, screwed with the elevator, and who set the clock? That's that one. So that's clearly not a thing. The loop, a hammer. Okay. We're gonna do it without scrolling. It confuses me when I scroll. I just do this. So Nekomaru. Oh, that's Nekomaru getting out of bed. Then he went downstairs. That's just him leaving, I guess, probably. Who was in the lounge since early morning? Okay, Fuyuhiko, sure. Fuyuhiko... Is that when the alarm went off? No. He left, saw him go past. Hung the loop onto the doorknob. Oh no, that's the thing. What time did... Oh, so the clock will be there. Okay. He goes in there, the killer... I wonder who it could be with the hamsters. Threw a bunch of hamsters at him. He was unable to thwart the power of the hamsters. They hit his button, he went to sleep. He set the alarm on the clock. Tied him up. Moved the floor. The wire wrapped around... the wire? Oh, right. Okay, sure. Then... hung him there. Destroyed what after leaving the tower? What did he destroy after leaving the tower? The wire hung around the doorknob. Was that right back at the start? Hang on. No, it wasn't. I feel like that should be somewhere around here. Wire up to Nekomaru's feet. Oh, it was hung on the doorknob. Yeah. Okay. Then he destroyed something after leaving. What have I missed there? What was destroyed? Don't know. Come back to that one. Moved the elevator to a different floor. He was left dangling. Was the fake weapon left at the tower? Was a hammer. Cool. Chained the door shut. Went back to Strawberry Lounge. Took a little bit too long. The alarm went off. Fuyuhiko threw off his plan. Everybody gathered at the lounge. Cool, very good. Nekomaru woke up, had a bit of a wiggle. He fell because he had a bit of a wiggle. Crashed, hit a pillar. Who heard the rumbling noise? I woke up at... No, not me. We've already seen that one. Alarm set for 5:30. It's 2:40 AM right now. That is just a wrong thing. Hamster and murder we've already seen. So that's not there. So... alarm set for 5:30 AM. It's 5 AM right now. That's... Is that right back at the start of the first one? Who set the lounge clock? No, because it does specifically say who. I don't think that's right. I woke up at... Let me see. I woke up pretty late. When Nekomaru fall. Who heard the rumbling noise? Did I wake up at the rumbling noise? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. I'm glad I remembered what I did. Now we've seen that. Something to do with clocks. Nekomaru's weakness. time did Fuyuhiko see him? He was in the lounge. I don't know if that's right. No. Didn't fit it into... No. Okay. What time? It's 5 AM right now. Oh yeah, Fuyuhiko saw him at 5 AM right now. Okay. That's that picture, so we know that's there. That's that picture, so we know that's there. Alarm set for 5:30 AM. It's 2:40 AM right now. I don't remember anything specifically happening at 2:40 AM. That seems thoroughly irrelevant to everything. Unless that's the time. Oh, because that clock there says 2:30 AM, doesn't it? So, was that when the clock was set? Oh, it was! Okay. The clock was actually set at... Not that ever came up in the trial, but the clock was actually changed at about 2:40 AM. I'm glad that's clear. I'm glad we found out the reasoning behind that. So, what we got? Fuyuhiko was in the lounge. That's pretty obvious. Nekomaru's weakness was a ham store. Bango. And where was it? Killer destroyed what? Door to Strawberry Hall. Yep. And he fell because the door handle came off. Boom.
Here's everything that happened in this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime.
Does Nagito not get to deliver this one?
First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 AM. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 AM, but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 AM. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck.
The power of hamsters, a sentence you won't hear a sentence you won't hear heard said. Here said. Here, that's what I'm trying to say. A sentence you won't hear said all that often. That would have been better if I delivered that a little bit more clearly, but hey, my brain no good today.
This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 AM so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful, and placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
That was quite a cool picture of him there, actually. I quite like that.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
It's over. It's done. It's got a few hundreds in there. Those are good. Those are good. Not bad, actually. Hey! Woo! 112 points. Cool. Can we see which ones I goofed on? Nope. I didn't do
This
that right.
result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever! Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
That's an important clue to the next trial. Da, 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 da. Also, how does a robot bear bite his tongue? How is that a problem? All rise for the class trial. Oh dear. Right, I need to do voice acting again, so be honest, I'm going to take a 2-minute break, so I'm just going to go refresh myself, and then we'll be back and we'll wrap this thing up. So, it's going to be away for just uno momento, or BRB. Okay, I'm back. Let us, oh no, I have my list of character voices, and I should remember what the voices are by now, but I like having my notepad file open so that I can make notes of characters and things. I also note down who's dead on there, so I should probably, like, add some extra deaths at this point. But, it'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results,
Yahoo!
You guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right, the one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing funhouse is Gundam Tanaka.
Nice!
Yay, I said all that without biting my tongue.
Now then.
Now that we've decided who the killer is, let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. It's true the class trial is finished, that doesn't mean the incident is over. We can't finish yet until we hear it from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like.
Fall, my tears.
Why do you want to talk to the one who is lost? The loser merely leaves. It would just be unnecessary for me to say something.
Listen well!
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct?
How pitiful.
You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake. Huh?
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost. And died.
Damn it!
Lost and died?
This, too, must be the will of causality.
Tell you what, if I hear about causality one more time, it will be too soon. I'm glad this guy's gonna get killed, so I don't have to hear about bloody causality so much. If he was just trying to cling to life, there are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
You.
What do you mean? Explain. Fine then, I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the funhouse, and I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent and instantly understood the situation, and we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away or even called for help, but he did not turn his back to me. That's because where his weak point was. Instead, he chose a fight that risked life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked life and... Wow. Until I ain't done any voice acting for a couple weeks. A fight that risked life... I can't do my posh voice anymore. Yeah, rather. Yeah. Don't go fighting any nasty bug-eyed monsters. That's the voice I was channeling, you know. If anyone ever watched the old Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series, there's a robot in there. And speaks like this. That's my posh voice. It's very matronly, is really what it is. But a fight that risked life and death. And the nasty bug-eyed monsters line is basically like what I'm channeling when I do that voice. I think for a lot of the voices I have in my head, I've kind of got like a trigger line that gets me into the right mindset for it. As far as I'm aware, I feel like that's a fairly common thing for a lot of people doing silly voices and accents. I think Yahtzee Croshaw has said as much on referring to doing voices at some stage. But yeah, like a lot of them is like, I've got a character who's like usually some crazy stereotype of something, but they've got a very distinctive voice, and I'm like, that's the character I'm channeling when I do it. And Eddie the Shipboard Computer's alternative personality is the very, very specific silly character that I'm channeling when I do my posh lady voice. A fight that risked life and death?
Let me tell you this.
He was serious too. He gave it his all to try and kill me. Huh? If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself.
I can see it!
Nobody would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Could it be?
Nekomaru really did that?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
Did he really have a subtle killing intent, or did he walk in there and say, "Hi, Nekomaru, I'm going to kill you," and that was why he reacted? I don't take any of my voice acting advice as anything remotely professional or even close to professional. This is just, I like doing silly voices. Some people kind of seem to like listening to me doing silly voices for some reason, and it kind of seems to work out okay. I mean, if you want actual voice acting advice, I would bet there's probably tons of it out there. This is the internet. I have never, like, delved into looking at doing it in any way, shape, or form professionally. My experience is purely just what I do on YouTube. I've not got involved in any voice acting communities. I've never done any actual voice acting work. All I can tell you is what I do. And for my really screamingly outrageous voices, I've usually got a character that I'm going for. My Irish voice is Mrs. Doyle from Father Ted. My Scottish voice is basically just Sean Connery. Those are the three main ones that spring to mind. Eddie the Shipboard Computer, Mrs. Doyle, and Sean Connery are like the three characters that I mostly channel when I'm doing crazy voices. I've got the one that I would just describe. I can only describe it as the one character I really voiced as, because I don't know where it actually even friggin' came from, which was... what's his name? Crap. I've just got him down on my notepad as the Riddler. What was his name? I think his name was actually Tim in the end, but there was the guy who was basically Jim Sterling in Valhalla. Jim Sterling's character in Valhalla. I gave him a completely ridiculous voice, but I think I just pulled that voice out of my ass, honestly. Oh yeah, Ingram from Valhalla as well. He got my Arstotska voice, but my Arstotska voice was basically just Borat. So, there's that one as well, yeah.
This scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got!
Nekomaru Nidai, your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
That is...
Why? Why did you fight? We were all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it was still wrong. I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you.
Let me tell you this.
What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling!
There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation. Wait, are you telling us to just wait until we starve to death? I'd rather have that happen to us than have our friends kill each other. Huh? Do you mean that you'd rather die?
Fall, my tears.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone has been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch, you will die!
Giving up on life, that is just an insult to life itself.
Let me ask.
Have you fools heard of the term dog eat dog? Cannibalism?
Fine.
In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism.
Listen well!
That is what it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life itself?
I shall engulf this world.
If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing but a blasphemy toward life.
I renounce you!
It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity.
You.
Are you saying all that just to try and justify what you did?
But...
Sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Ugh.
Fine.
That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth.
Fall, my tears.
But even so, don't you think it's a better alternative to slowly starving to death here?
Oh.
That belief is why you committed your crime?
You...
Hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too?
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagato, I only did it once, but... Compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play.
Well?
You know, after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that... Well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Gundam, don't tell me, you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam Tanaka!
Just who do you think I am? I am Gundam Tanaka, history's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools.
Fade like dust in the wind.
Not in a million, not in a billion, not in 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible. Is that it? And I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It is about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Yay, got it. I prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka. He's going to be bred to death.
Please wait!
Wait, what? Please wait, this is just too much.
I beg of you!
Please, Monokuma, please help Gundam.
Huh?
Miss Sonia.
I beg of you!
Please, I beg of you.
Pitiful.
Sonia. An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself. Gundam! It's fine to start for reals, right?
Fine.
Yes, I do not mind. However...
What is it, my 4 dark devas of destruction? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared 4 dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end. Pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end! Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Well, that was quite something. I have no idea what on earth he might do to it. Is he just going to be, like, eaten to death by hamsters? Okay, it does involve animals. All the animals. With fruits on their heads. Gundam Tanaka Stampede. Okay. No, not the hamsters! The hamsters are innocent! Save the hamsters! Okay, the hamsters are saved. Is he gonna tame the beasts? He can tame the beasts. Holy crap. What the frig? Okay. So after all that, he ended up going to heaven? Or at least some sort of fluffy animal heaven? What? That was... What was that? That was incredible. That was quite the display, I think. Gundam! No! No! Even after Gundam is gone, the spirit of his parting words still lingered deep in our chests. Don't give up on life. Did I misunderstand what he meant? Then what's the right thing to do? I don't know. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer that.
Damn it.
Damn it! I'm so pissed off, I need to throw something.
Damn it!
We all spent so much time worrying about each other, and thanks to that, things ended up like this. You're all so full of shit, every last one of you. But the biggest piece of shit is me.
The worst.
Damn it, why am I so weak?
Oh.
Such a downer, clearly. But still, even though we feel this way, we still gotta do our very best.
You are right.
This time around, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe in our friends. If not,
You are right.
Gundam will most likely crawl his way out of hell, and I presume he will be very cross with us. Didn't you see? He didn't go to hell. The rabbits with wings carried him off into the heavens, and he formed a new star. And I'm pretty sure that was the ending to Dragonheart. But you know, go on. Sure, he's up there with Draco now and everything. Sure. You're right. You're right. Spoilers if you haven't seen Dragonheart. We shouldn't just stand here. I mean, it's not like this is over. We still have to do it. We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who have died, we need to finish this once and for all. So, don't just stand there. Stand up and walk. Move forward. Live. If you don't, everyone who fought and died will have died in vain. We can't allow that.
Hey! Hey!
How long are you guys going to stand around chattering? The class trial is over, so it's okay for you to hurry back over to Jabberwock Island. However, this killing school trip will proceed as usual, so make sure you know that.
Wait!
Hold on! How much longer are you going to keep doing this? Seriously, how long is he going to keep doing this? How long is this going to continue?
Now then.
Alright, after feeling down for so long, I finally feel refreshed. Let's hurry back and eat some food.
Hey, hey!
Yeah, hold on a sec. That mood shift is too damn fast.
It's not like that.
Well, you know, it's like Gundam and Nekomaru said. That's what it means to live, right? Huh. Yeah, she's certainly something else. Seriously, I'm starving.
Hey.
Now let's go back for now and eat. And then, after we're full, let's sleep as much as we want.
Right?
And then, let's do our best again. Yeah, you're right. With this, the class trials come to an end, and once again we return to Jabberwock Island. The size of our group was definitely diminished, but despite that, even if it was just the rest of us, we did our best to stay upbeat and have fun together. Of course, our optimism was only superficial, but at that moment we were able to forget about the dark despair looming before us. However, the only thing I was worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight. Nagato? Yeah, Nagato. Yep, I'm definitely lucky. I never expected to obtain so many valuable things from a simple game of Russian roulette. Thanks to that, I was able to learn the identity of our true enemy. And before everyone else, too. But it's just too funny. I mean, no one could tell that I was lying. There's no way the file had just Hajime's information.
Well,
I guess they were too busy with other matters, or maybe they've reached their limit. Regardless, I was saved. Things would get complicated if they found out. Anyway, I can't forgive this. This should never be forgiven. There's no way I can let this run loose. I'll be the one who stops this once and for all, even if it costs me my life.
it's obvious.
For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this.
Monokuma appears!
Alright, Monokuma has arrived. Who summoned me?
Now then.
Thanks for coming.
What's this?
Why, it's the lonely little Nagato. Are you all alone tonight, too?
What's the matter?
So what's up? Your face looks scary. I see, so you can tell. Perhaps you found out who the traitor is? You know me well.
Well.
Is what I'd like to say, but unfortunately, I haven't learned that yet. I see. So even you don't know, huh? Looks like the final showdown is going to take a little more time.
Hello.
So why'd you summon me anyway? Were you finally going to confess your love?
Hey.
I summoned you because there's something I really need to ask you. It's about the special prize from the final dead room. Oh yeah, what about it? There was information about 16 people in the file I received. But isn't that weird?
Say what?
Oh, that's weird.
You don't even know?
Well, there's a traitor from the Future Foundation hiding amongst us, right? Including that person, the total number of students would be 16, right?
Isn't that right?
But this file contains documents that were created at Hope's Peak Academy, right?
Of course!
That's right, I just reused stuff that the former headmaster spent a lot of time making.
But...
if this file even contains information about the traitor, was this person also a former student of Hope's Peak Academy?
Who knows?
I wonder.
Hey.
Could it be? Is this your doing? Did you slip false information into this file? Were you trying to keep us from learning the traitor's identity by obtaining this information? What's wrong with that? If it's my job to heat things up, it's okay if I do something small like that, right?
Well...
that's not my point.
right?
My point is, you already know who the traitor is. What's wrong with that?
You're getting all riled up!
Well, you're splendidly correct when you say I knew who the traitor was all along. But even though I know who it is, why do you think I ignored it on purpose? It's just like when Just like Monomi after losing her magic stick. The traitor's existence means absolutely nothing to me. Their existence means nothing, huh?
No, no!
Well, that's just how I feel. I'm sure you guys feel somewhat different.
Shing!
After all, that person is the evil Future Foundation lackey who's putting you guys through this awful stuff. That's not entirely true. I didn't really come here to fight or anything like that. Instead, I came here to offer my cooperation, you know?
Huh?
Cooperation?
Hey.
Your purpose is to fill everyone on this island with despair, right? That's why you're intentionally letting the traitor do as they please, right?
Yep.
Yep. If that's the case, I might be able to cooperate somewhat, too.
Right?
However, in exchange, I want to know who the traitor is. I see. Interesting. Very interesting.
No, no, no!
Obviously, that's a big no-no.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I want to make everyone in your group feel despair. That includes you, too. Well, I knew you'd say that. Besides, I just wouldn't be able to handle the sadness when you inevitably betray me later on. Just as I thought. You saw right through me.
You're right.
No matter what the situation I find myself in, my core way of thinking will never change. In order to create absolute hope that shines brightly, stepladders such as myself and despair exist. You're right. You're a true believer of hope after all. I must say that belief reminds me of that person for some reason.
Huh?
Reminds you? I don't know who you're talking about, but if someone as worthless as me reminds you of some other person, they must be extremely unlucky.
Like?
But you're just as unlucky, right? I mean, the fact that you're even involved in something like this.
Whoa.
Am I? I actually think I'm very lucky.
Say what?
Huh?
You don't know?
Well, I don't know why I thought he was Monokuma's voice there. Wouldn't you say that coming across this much despair is another rare opportunity? I can't rely on anyone on this island. That's why I have to be the one who does it. If I can eliminate despair from this island, I won't be a stepladder anymore. I'll become true hope. I'll become an existence that could even be called ultimate hope. The two of you are alike. You definitely remind me of him. They're talking about Makoto! Because, like, I said that literally the first time I saw him.
Hey,
there's one more thing I want to ask you.
See?
Who are you waiting for on this island? Huh? Looks like I'm right again. You're definitely waiting for someone on this island. Is the person you're waiting for already on this island?
Hey.
Well, answer my question.
That's...
If that's the case, if that person is already on this island, wouldn't that be exciting? Oh, things are happening again. 5 days remain. Dun dun dun. We waste quite a lot of time in the hospital. Down to 7 students. How many people gonna be left? If this were to play out similarly to the first game, I would suggest that only one person is going to die in the next trial to bring it down to 6 to be the magic number. If 6 is the magic number. But also, by the time you got to the 5th trial in Danganronpa 1, the plot had sort of derailed from the traditional format to some extent. It kind of deviated from the standards. Kill people, figure out who it is, kill people, figure out who it is, kill people, figure out who it is kind of format. It was sort of like, now major narrative arcs are taking place. So I think next chapter we're going to see interesting things begin to occur. With our Hellhound earring. Yes, I would love to save my current progress. So that is where we are going to leave things for tonight. That is where we traditionally leave things. That's where I'm going to leave things for now. So thank you for joining me for that. We'll see where this continues. is going to be interesting. This is an interesting week. This is a awkward and difficult and complicated week to do streaming for, I would hazard. Especially as regards Danganronpa. If I were to continue on in my traditional format of daily life Tuesday, investigation Thursday, I will be traveling back home for Christmas over the weekend. I will definitely not be able to stream on the Sunday. I will be in a location without a streaming computer and a streaming quality internet. So Sunday is a definite no. Tuesday the 26th is probably also a no. Thursday the 28th is a probably yes, actually. I probably will be able to stream that day. Maybe even the Wednesday. I mean, I've got like 10 days off, finally, off work between Christmas and New Year. I would like to get quite a bit of streaming in there. I might do some like... I love the idea of doing like an all-day stream. I might just do some big-ass streams during that time. We'll see, we'll see. Either way, as I say, Sunday 24th, Tuesday the 26th, definite no stream days. Were that to be the case, there's going to be a break of well over a week between me doing an investigation and having to get to the trial. That's going to be difficult for me to catch up with in terms of the actual progress here. I don't know what I'm planning to do here. I think I need to stream some other games and come back to Chapter 5 once I'm back from Christmas. Also worth noting that Sunday the 31st is obviously New Year's Eve. That's also a bad day for streaming. I think you could probably comfortably say no stream on Sunday the 31st. That seems like a pretty comfortable assumption to make. I will likely be elsewhere for that. My traditional plans are usually to go to a friend's place down in like Shropshire somewhere, but I don't know. There hasn't been any talk or plans of that this year, so I don't even know if that would be happening. I don't know. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. All I can say for certainty at this stage is Sunday the 24th and Tuesday the 26th, definite no stream. Also, BG Happy Claw, hi, RIP Spiral, as in Spiral Knights? Yeah, I haven't played that in over 2 years. Oh well, no big loss there. It hasn't changed. They haven't updated the game in any significant, noteworthy, or important way in over 2 years. We've had this conversation on many occasions on this channel. So, time to move on to other games. Sharknator, oh my god. Why does this always happen? I'm at the end here. We found the murderer. Everybody got executed that needed to be executed, which is to say one person got executed. And everybody suddenly shows up to start saying hi and talk about Spiral Knights. You played it today and it hasn't changed. Yeah, you know what? I didn't expect it to have changed. Do I need to like at least have a quick look at the front page and see if they've done anything new? What's new? Happy Winterfest! We've released hats. We've released chickens, Apocria, grey costumes. Yeah, the front page shows nothing exciting or new. Except, oh, they've created a promotional video. Ooh, well, don't know about you, but I'm sold. Let's get straight back into that. Yeah, that promotional video going to be going viral on YouTube and dragging all the new people into the game. I think not. Pippin, hi. Oh my god, seriously, literally 3 people have just showed up moments before I end the things. Also, long time no see, Pippin. Hi. Right, I'm going to reiterate for the 3 people who just turned up. No stream on Christmas Eve, no stream on the Tuesday following it. Probably not Danganronpa this coming Tuesday and Thursday, because that's going to make it... because I'm going to forget everything that happens when it comes to actually do the actual trial after that. It's going to make it tricky to proceed. You can change your character's personal height, color, and stuff once you use it now? Okay. Oh, a style kit. Oh, okay, fair enough. Oh, right. Oh, you were hanging around here. Okay, so you just decided to make it look like even more people showed up. Okay, cool. Thanks for being deceptive. I was deceived. You win. Right, I'm going to go and drink tea and play some Sea of Thieves, I think, because I don't have much opportunity to play that. And then go to bed, because work in the morning, because always work in the morning. All is work. Work is endless, is what that is. But thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for finding out who done it. Shame that 2 of my faves had to die in 1 chapter. That's kind of sucky. But hey ho, there we go. I hope I'm not about to be tried to talk into. I hope no one's about to try to talk to me into going back to Spiral Knights, because it ain't happening. Like, there would need to be a major chunk of content added to that game for me to think about going back to that. And even then, I would probably go back, be like, well, yep, that's the thing, and immediately be like, I'm done with it, bye, go away. Basically, at this point, MMO-wise in my life, waiting for Worlds Adrift to do something significant, because that's a game that's still actively under development, so, you know, there will be major changes to that, and I will get back into that when it happens. And also Sea of Thieves, because it's Worlds Adrift, but done on a AAA budget. And also great. Oh yeah, the Christmas danger missions. I remember those. Those were horrible. Yeah. That's enough Spiral Knights. No more Spiral Knights. No more spirally discussion. Why can't people let that game go? Oh my god. Come join us on the Danganronpa side. Danganronpa's fun, and Slime Rancher, and Worlds Adrift, and some point in the future Sea of Thieves. Alrighty, I'm definitely going this time. I've been saying that for like 10 minutes now, and I always say that for like 10 minutes. Right. Bye guys, see you on Tuesday with a game that won't be Danganronpa, but I don't know what it is yet. There's the sequel to the Moon out, but I'm not sure I want to play a game where I end up having to cry live on the internet. So maybe not on that game. Maybe we skip Finding Paradise. I want to play the bejesus out of Finding Paradise, but I do not necessarily sure I want to play that live on the internet. I don't know. Hey, come join me on the Discord. Shout your suggestions at me in the Discord. There is literally a section of the Discord for you to shout your suggestions at me in. That's what it's for. If you can think of a thing that's new-ish and relevant-ish, or very new and very relevant, and would be in my wheelhouse and cool, yeah, come shout at me on the Discord. That's my plug for Discord. Alright, I'm definitely out this time. For the 4th time, I'm definitely out. Good night, goodbye, thank you for being here, thank you for watching. It's been chill, it's been awesome. I didn't expect to do a stream tonight, but we did, and it was cool. And yes, I do have a Discord. It is linked in the description below, Pippin. Please join the Discord. We would be delighted to have you hanging around there. That'd be awesome. Bye for realsies this time. Bye, bye, bye.